Hello YouTube artists! Today I am sharing the Autumnal Equinox palette by Addison and Sedgwick. This is what the palette looks like. Isn't it beautiful? It's fall here, the leaves are changing, they're falling to the ground, and I'm collecting them like crazy. Here is our specimen for today. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do a little bit of negative painting. If you don't know what negative painting is, think of something being on here, like maybe you stamped an image on here and then you cut that image out. So the hole that's left, that's the negative space, where the leaf itself is the positive space. So we're gonna have fun with that. But before I get into the palette, I wanted to share with you how I do the side edge here. See that I've got the type? I'm always asked, what do I use to get the type there? So let me show you. This is the Light Energy light box, and look how thin it is. It's not even a 1/4 inch. I love how skinny it is. This is the rechargeable one. It has a little knob. See that little black lever there? So you push that on up towards the power button there, and you just touch that button and it comes on. Now you can brighten it by holding it down. See that it's brighter, and if you hold it again, it gets duller. See how the light's going down? So what I do, let me get that big up. I pick a typeface that I like on the computer. I run it out in whatever size I want. I use that to help me so that my type is nice and pretty. And then just with watercolor, you can see how nice you can see over it. And I use this Unipin in the 0.1 or 0.5. I like using the light gray version because any color can go over it and you really don't see the lines, which is what I like. So you just hold it in place and start going around the letters. It's that easy. This is how I do all of my lettering. I always just print it out first and then just trace it. You see it goes fairly fast. And there, now I can watercolor over this. What I like about this fine line, this Unipin fine liner, is it dries right away. So I can go over this right away with watercolor and it's not gonna run. So I wanted to share that with you because Christmas is coming and this is a really great gift. There is a non-rechargeable one and there is a chargeable. I wanted something that didn't have to be connected to the cord because a lot of times I'm sitting in front of the TV, tracing things onto my sketchbook. It's just more convenient for me, but the corded one is about $15 cheaper than this one. I will have this though in the description box in case you are interested in it, but I love it for the size. So let me introduce you to the Autumnal Equinox palette. I'm going to bring it up so that you can see it. This color here, this silk color, is a metallic. So you can see when I move it, see how shiny it is? It's a very beautiful color. So we've got silk, cashmere, damask, cranberry, plum, chestnut, raisin, brocade, cider, persimmon, tweed, denim, wool, and velvet. Now, isn't that a beautiful palette? When I saw this, I just knew I had to have it because of the fall colors going on right now. Now, the only color that I question on this entire palette is this velvet, just because the intensity, like I would have loved to have a richer red instead of this more phthalo green color. But other than that, I love it. And what I'm gonna do is I picked a leaf up from the yard, lay it down, trace it with my mechanical pencil, and then I drew a white egret in the middle of it right here. I'm gonna show you that. The egret is going to become my negative space or my negative painting in there. See how he's kind of tucked in? Now the inspiration behind this is we pass a lake all the time and there are all these egrets in the trees. So there's these bright white objects just everywhere in these trees, so they really stand out, and I thought that that would look kind of nice here. And I've exaggerated the size of the egret, of course, and made the leaf more like it's a tree. So I'm going to have fun with all of these colors. I'm going to play with definitely the damask. I like the yellow and I love this persimmon color, but we are going to add some of these dark colors. The chestnut here, it looks like it granulates, so I'm going to play around with that. I might even touch a little bit of this wool in there. I really kind of like when the leaves have just a touch of green. Key here is to go around the egret. I do not want to get paint on him. I want him left white. So I'm using my Bowerbird palette. I'm using the backside. I'm using my Artify round. It's a number 12. I shared this set. It's a set of 12 brushes for under $12. It's a great deal and I really love how it works. And look at the point, you guys. Isn't that amazing? And then I've got my palette up here. Let's see. There you go. I'm going to start doing a little bit real time just so you can see how it works and how I'm melding the colors together. But then I'm going to just put on some music for you to enjoy watching me paint it. When you're using handmade watercolors, they suggest that you wet them. Just a little bit of water to get them kind of started. I want it dark around the egret for sure to show him off, especially in this dark corner here next to his neck. I will be splashing as well just for added texture. That point is really allowing me to get on there, get in there. There you go. Just a little bit of this yellow. I like this yellow a lot. Okay, I'm gonna splash. When I splash, I take these 3 fingers to the first knuckle, just dip them in my clean water, and kind of hold them together like this and flick down. So just flicking down on the paper. There you can see how he's kind of coming along. That looks beautiful. Now I'm gonna continue with music. So just sit back, paint a leaf with me. I want to put a little bit of color in the background, so I'm just going to use my brush and I'm going to load this, and then I'm going to tap it on another one to just make nice little spatters everywhere. I want the orange for sure. I like the orange color, which is persimmon. There we go. It's got to be really watery. I'm going to dry this before I go ahead because I don't want a lot of this bright color going into my egret. But look how cool it looks so far. And can you see the little fine spatters? Now you could do this with just about anything. I want you to think of the holidays coming up. So think of doing a Santa's hat with a reindeer in the middle or a snowman in the middle. Think of doing a stocking where the leaf is and putting a snowflake there. You can also use masking fluid and make the lines really delicate instead of having a really negative shape like this. But it's just a fun way to get you thinking outside the box. You know, I love leaves, but look what the leaf shape actually did. It looks like a foliage of trees with all the colors that I've used in here. It doesn't look like a leaf really because of all the different mishmash of colors, but it really makes the egret show up and show off in there. I just really like the way it looks so far. So let me dry this and then I'll be back. I'm so sorry it wasn't taping and I did the egret. So let me explain the steps that I did. He's all white and I just took this damask blue, which is very light. You can see how light it is. Sorry, this denim blue. And I put a little bit here under his feather, under his wing, and then a little bit on the wing, his neck, and up here by his head. Then I'm taking my brush, blotting it on paper towel just to soften, and then soften it out. Took a little bit with the cranberry and got between his legs there and a little bit on his neck. Again, keep it very light. He's supposed to be white, so we don't want him competing with the background. I did yellow for his beak. Stay on the tip of that brush. And I used cranberry and wool for his eye there. I did a little bit of a denim wash over his legs. That's just to tone him back a little bit because I want his head really to gain the attention. And then what I did with a mix of the cranberry and the persimmon, I went under the head here and gave him a nice little dark area. I also did a little bit up here, and that up there I can strengthen just a little bit. So let me show you how I did that. So you're just going to go right above the area or below like I did down here. Blot my brush on paper towel, then kind of soften it out. I don't want to see a hard line. I want it to kind of blend, and you can see that it's blending nicely in there. I deepened right here as well, and I put a little bit of the cranberry up here, but I kind of left this green since I've got more of the green coloration down here. I just deepened that a little bit. I can deepen that again, actually. Got an area here that's not real bold. Gonna blot on paper towel and just soften it out. I just don't want those hard lines. I want it to look like it's part of the nature. And that's how I did the bird. Isn't he cool looking? Before I started all of the bird, what I did was, you can see these areas here that are bleeding some of the color into his neck here. So let me show you that area. See that area right there? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some water on my brush. I'm going to let it sit there, but you notice that I kept playing with it so that it is lifting. And I'm going to just blot with paper towel. I've got another spot here on his back. So do this. Make sure that it's lifting. So you do want to play with it a little bit till you see the paint start to lift, and then blot. I only do it a couple times and then I let it dry because I'm worried about the paper pilling and pulling up. I don't want that. And there you have him. The negative painting of the egret against the leaf that looks like fall trees is so beautiful in my opinion. It's just a way to get you thinking outside the box. But any shape works. You can do this with anything. Just take a leaf and do your initial as the white area. It's just something fun. And it is different because you have to remember to keep it white. And you don't want to go too dark. Yes, I have kind of a dark value in there. I mean, if you compare these darks in the bird to the darks here, they're medium value, but they are dark. Look how dark that is. It's no longer white of the paper. Like the top of his wing there is the white of the paper. So you can see all the different blues and the blue plus the cranberry. So what that did, and then his face up there. I hope you learned a lot about negative painting, and I do hope you give it a try. This was exploring the Autumnal Equinox from Addison and Sedgwick on Etsy. If you are inspired, please like, comment, or subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.